Hello, everybody. Hello, Laurel.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone, to another news and updates. We bring you the news from in and around the AltSpace VR community and beyond to ensure that you have the news that you need to know.
For almost 4 years, we've been bringing you the news every Saturday, sharing with you the highs and lows of our amazing AltSpace VR community.
We are not AltSpace VR employees. We are community members and volunteers working hard each week to find the news and report it here to help you understand the simplicity and complexity in this ever evolving metaverse.
Now, in addition to presenting the news and updates live every week right here in AltSpace VR, we stream this silly show, this wonderful, exciting, funny show to YouTube, Twitch. Yes, we give you serious news, but we're also embrace our mistakes and giggle too much. So we stream to YouTube and Twitch during our show, and we do on occasion film the audience during our discussion. So be ready. If you miss the show, check it out on our News and Updates YouTube channel to stay updated.
Our producer, Mark, our beloved producer, Mark, is hovering over all of us in the back running the show. He is our official boss man, dreamer, planner, filmer, hacker, world builder, and the driving force behind the news and updates ever since the beginning of time itself.
Mark, I think that says you're old. Okay, so thank you,
No,
Mark.
that
as
didn't mean old at
as we
all.
brush the dust off of you. Thank you to all of our volunteers who keep our show running, and thank you for being here every week. It means so much to us. And we have the news you need to know coming right up. So let's get this party started.
Yay.
All right. 2 months. 2 months of war in Ukraine. So Putin clearly didn't know what he was up against, and neither did Ukraine, nor did the rest of the world. Soldiers from the UK, the US, and from around the world have been captured or killed in this brutal and, I'm going to say it, useless war, making it real to people living outside the area, and we share their pain as best as we can.
News and rumors continue to grow that Russia is likely not to stop with Ukraine. So our hearts are with all of those in our AltSpace VR community and beyond who are facing this growing threat and feeling helpless as governments struggle to find commitments and money to help stop this war that many of us fear could easily become World War III.
Thank you to all who show support for the people of Ukraine and Russia who did not want this war. Okay, now on to brighter things. The AltSpace VR news. Now, a small bug in AltSpace VR this week allowed people with access to the enterprise version of AltSpace VR to access the community version of AltSpace VR, where we are right now. They couldn't friend people, message people, or use other account based features, but they were able to wander around and enjoy seeing a different side and more diverse side of AltSpace VR. If you ran into someone from the enterprise version, we hope you made them feel welcome.
VR Space Base worked with Carnivore and Dargan for the last few months in AltSpace VR to create three amazing worlds to host the annual DJ festival in Slovenia. The event was ticketed and private, and as of Thursday, over 10,000 tickets were sold. The event began yesterday and continues today with thousands and thousands of people pouring into AltSpace.
The event features 3 worlds built using customized design the underwater coral found in the Ukraine Unity bundle. Now, Dargan has created an RE that allows users to click on the ground of a floating platform to plant a tree. The tree grows out of the ground, and €1 is donated for every tree to a fund for the UN Sustainability Goals charity. What a cool thing!
Yes. Carnivore created a special app that encodes the pattern of the music onto the video shown in the event. It causes interactive reactions to the light objects in the scene, so they pulse and change colors in sync with the music. It's an incredible event space, and Carnivore and Dargan have negotiated with the event producers to allow educators in VR's world building team to host a special event on May 11th to pull back the curtain and show us how this was done. Don't miss it.
Yay. So as Karen pulls her mic a little bit closer, I want to tell you about an article that recently in Fast Company magazine that featured Altspace VR and asked, will we still want a metaverse when the pandemic is over? Let me see. We were here before the pandemic. We were here during the pandemic, and our community grew during the pandemic, but it was growing anyway. And we're still here as the pandemic has switched to a new phase, according to Dr. Fauci. So I think the answer is yes. But let's see what
Yes.
Sarasota Fast Company had to say.
Is this better, Laurel?
Yes.
Okay. While exploring Altspace VR, Rec Room, and a few other platforms, and talking to people hosting business meetings and having fun with their teams, she states that travel companies are reporting a rise in activity. So the worry is that people will leave the metaverse for the real world. While the employees love it, the general sentiment is that this is still a novelty and there is room for growth. Yet it is likely the metaverse will survive the pandemic.
I think it will. And I think you all think it will too, because you're all vested in this as
Absolutely.
well. But what's interesting is there's cycles. There are always cycles. And you spend enough time here, you see the cycles. Summer, always slow. August, horribly slow. September, it rises up. October, it rises up. November, December, January, February, we can't kick the people out of here fast enough. There's so many of them. So it's always a cycle. So yes, people are going to travel. It's summer, but I think it's going to survive without a doubt.
I do too.
Now, and one of the proof in that is that McDonald's was one of the first to host a virtual reality event in the fast food and restaurant chain rush to get into the metaverse. And it was hosted right here in Altspace VR with MREs built by Dargan for the Chinese New Year in their Hall of Zodiacs 2022. Now, Wendy's rushed into Horizon, and now Chipotle and others are making their way into the platforms and staking their foodie claims. So, Stevie, make sure Don knows that Olive Garden needs to make a comeback. And but watch out, because there is more restaurant stuff coming to the metaverse.
Interesting. Okay. This past week, many other professional events were hosted here in Altspace VR, including the digital asset management presentation called From Avatars to Digital Humans, bringing in dozens of professionals in IT. What a great topic.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating. XRI hosted their second XR Safety Initiative Town meeting in Altspace again this week, exploring the converging technologies creating the metaverse. Top leaders from the XR academic and corporate industry discussed the complexity not only of the metaverse, but also the gaming industry, because there's a lot of tie-in, really close tie-ins that, and also talked about the laws that come into play in this evolving industry.
The Canadian Winnipeg's Alternative Reality Club, that hosts over 600 members, met this week here in Altspace VR to not only explore the metaverse, but really dive deep into virtual reality with the six-person panel, including Ryan Schultz, our favorite citizen journalist specializing in VR. Congrats to the club for stepping into VR.
Hmm. I love that. The alternative reality club. I want to belong to that club.
Me too.
I want to also belong to the next one. It sounds wonderful. So speaking of Canada, the Yukon News, way up in in the north under Alaska, a columnist who calls himself the Yokonomist is now jokingly calling himself the Yukoniverse after exploring various platforms across the metaverse, including Altspace VR. I just love that. He attended the creative writing meetup. I had no idea. A few games and the Rainbow Bridge Pet Loss Grieving event and really enjoyed himself. Remember, please, you never know if the person you're talking to, who they are, and what they're coming here, because they could be a reporter. So please speak well of our community.
Absolutely. And don't forget the Microsoft Build Conference is May 24th through the 26th, and it will bring together developers from around the world to explore the latest in innovation and tools from Microsoft and beyond. We're waiting to see if there will be any events in AltSpace VR and what announcements and news might happen.
hmm Now, AltSpace VR staff has been busy. You may not see it, but they're working on the altvr.com website as well as social media, and they're making improvements to the language, the design, the support forms, and many other details that so many of us rely upon. The changes are small, but they're happening, and it's often a sign that even bigger things are coming.
Microsoft and MasterCard announced a partnership last year for what they're calling the next generation identity solution to accelerate digital commerce, empower fintech innovation, and really improve financial inclusivity, whatever that means. It appears that this program is gaining traction and could be coming sooner than expected.
Well, I love the word fintech. It means financial technology. Fintech, new word, nerf,
Fintech.
fintech, new words. What's important about this announcement is that it may not only help with global commerce, which is so essential in the metaverse, but these steps help create a more secure identity that will make logging into a variety of apps, sites, and metaverse platforms like AltSpace VR much easier, as well as helping to lock in the identity of bad actors. Now, we hope that this will make our MSA accounts here in AltSpace VR even more protected. Wouldn't that be nice if they were tied into purchases and stuff? We'll see. We'll see what the updates bring that's quietly in the works and if it's going to involve us so that we could really make the metaverse come alive with the FinTech innovation.
That wouldn't that be cool? On a related subject, those with Microsoft 365, Microsoft has updated an account switching feature that allows users to switch faster and easier. AltSpace VR used to be easy to switch between accounts, but the transfer to MSA has made that frustrating, as we've whined about over the past year or so on the show. We're hoping that the security features and challenges in adding this feature to Microsoft 365 accounts will bring that feature back to AltSpace VR. We live in hope.
Yes, we do. Now, we love celebrating the great things that members of our community accomplish. Dr. Jose Ferrer, a family physician and ER doctor who is a very accomplished world builder, was featured in a television interview in Spain as part of the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. He discussed his innovative work to help develop a VR mental health and well-being department at his hospital for healthcare workers, a project that he developed right here in Altspace VR that is gaining interest and traction around the world.
That's so cool, Lorel. I love that. And he's such a nice guy, too. He has not only built incredible award winning event and meditation spaces right here in AltSpace VR for educators in VR and his own projects, but he's also built and produced a 13 world album release concert event here in AltSpace VR for Carolina Ick, the world acclaimed theremin instrument performer. Congratulations, Jose. That many of you were
Yay!
at that event.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was.
All right, now it's time to talk about our favorite thing, VR hardware.
Okay, poor Oculus headset users. It seems that those using the Oculus Air Link have been experiencing juddering issues for months when connected to Windows 11 computers. Well, this week, Upload VR found a solution, and we'd like to share it with you.
Okay, you open the Oculus PC app. You go in this debug tool in the Oculus diagnostic subfolder of the support folder of your Oculus Rift software directory.
Ah!
Okay. I'm gonna stop. I'm stopping. I'm sorry. I broke some heads. Okay, we changed our mind. We're not going to tell you how to do it. It's actually a very, very simple fix, but it's too complex to describe here because I'm not going to go into all of the little directory business stuff. Just head to our news and updates Discord and look in your VR news channel for the link to the article with all the instructions so that I don't have to repeat them here. So, and you are welcome.
And as we mention here almost every week, we're also really excited about the Pico headset coming to consumers in a few months. We're still gathering information on what is likely to be the Pico Neo 3 converted from enterprise and educational use to consumer use as the Pico Neo 4. The reports
Right.
say that it is likely 8. It is
It's
likely
like the, yep.
it's likely to, and we quote, knock the Oculus Quest 2 down a peg.
Mhm. We're so excited. We have been begging AltSpace VR to port over to Pico for a long time, and I'm really, really hoping this is going to go together. So, and rumors are that it is. Not only will it have 256 gigabytes on board at the base event level, which is amazing, because the Project Cambria by Meta is reported to have only 128 gigabytes. So, and then goes up from there. The Pico will have equal or better power features and a better head strap design and incorporated link cable with a DisplayPort, PCVR play included for wired, but also a wireless connection to your computer. Quest doesn't have. So we believe that it will bring a superior image quality over the Quest for an uncompressed PCVR experience. Really excited about this headset.
Rumors are flying around that in addition to their own marketplace of apps and access to so many existing apps, SideQuest might be exploring porting to Pico as well, opening up a huge app marketplace. Using a headset that isn't connected to the Facebook ecosystem is great, but the freedom and power in this headset is something to put on your Christmas list for sure.
Mhm. Can't wait. So excited. Now, VR researchers, are you ready for this? I don't think this is ready for prime time. Researchers have figured out how to simulate the feel of a kiss in VR.
Oh no,
Yes,
I
that's
see where
right.
that's going.
It's going in directions I don't think you're ready for. Carnegie Mellon University's Future Interfaces group has added a contraption to an off the shelf headset that uses ultrasonic transducers focused on the user's mouth that uses sound waves to create a sensation of touch. Not just touch, but all kinds of sensations across the mouth. I think we're
Oh,
getting a little kinky
whoa.
here. No, we're not.
Now, in
Are we
their
ready for this?
example, I don't know. Are we ready?
I don't know.
Stay out of VR chat, everybody.
Yay!
In their
She didn't say
examples,
that.
I'm just joking. I was there last night, but anyway, in their
Oh,
example, they they've got these new avatar features where you can move, like if the avatar has wings, you can move the wing up and down, or if they have other body parts, you can. Let me go on with the news here. Okay, so in their in their example, they use the feeling of an object. We're talking about kissing now. They use the feeling of an object sliding or swiping across the lips to emulate a splash of water or taking a sip from a virtual drinking fountain, going beyond just kissing. Can you imagine when we pick up those drinks here in AltSpace VR to actually feel that glass against your
mm.
lips? It's still
Oh, that would be
primitive.
so cool.
It would be cool. It's still primitive and a bit bulky, but it's an interesting step in virtual contact sports.
Did you really say that? Virtual contact sports? And you worried about me going too far when I have virtual contact sports. Oh my, Karen.
Oh,
Woo-wee. Okay,
you had a hand in writing that. So
just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, in some other kind of exciting, kind of weird news, sort of, we lamented recently about the loss of so many wonderful headsets and just feeling that inventory shrink down, including the Samsung Oculus Gear, which was so dear to so many of us. But but Samsung has not completely forgotten VR. Trademarks were filed last month by Samsung Electronics for a new Samsung Galaxy VR, also with the name Galaxy 360. Will we see a new Samsung VR headset soon? Samsung has always been ahead of its time with innovation, so maybe, and you'll hear about it right here. Could be cool.
it will be
Now,
cool.
yeah, let's hit some more exciting news from around the metaverse because this is the news that you need to know. that impacts so many of us here in Altspace.
So, metaverse was the word heard around the huge International Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this past week. In a conference usually focused on telecommunications, everyone was talking about the metaverse.
Now, there were VR related exhibits and experiences everywhere. SK Telecom had a 4D metaverse ride at their booth. HTC had attendees put on a headset to explore a museum and then play around in a desert landscape. Qualcomm had people cooking or hitting giant 3D insects. Not sure if the two had anything in common with each other. Orange invited people to climb Notre Dame Cathedral, and Spain's Telefonica introduced their new chief metaverse officer, which is interesting for telecom communications.
That is interesting. Well, the key takeaways from this conference included the expansion of the mobile commerce and mobile wallet with contactless payment, geo-targeting and geofencing, improved customer service through human and automated support, interactive AR marketing and in-game engagement, especially in the metaverse, and improved diverse smartphone-enabled wearables. As exciting as all that was, people were still talking VR, our favorite subject.
Hmm. Now, news was out this week that stockholders are not happy with Meta, Facebook Meta, as costs grew by 55%, while income grew by 35%. There's something wrong with that number in AR and VR sales, driven by sales of the Quest 2 and associated apps, totaling $2.9 billion dollars in losses. Though the stock shot up and Zuckerberg made $11 billion dollars in just one day. So good for him. Not so good. It's crazy for the rest of us. The poor thing to make only $11 billion dollars in one day. Pooh, life is so hard. Either way, I didn't say that. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Either way, this tells us that Quest is driving Facebook Meta's income as Facebook's social media income is plateauing and decreasing, which is actually expected based on the announcement of the change to Meta and the new research and development. There's going to be financial change.
Many of us would expect the numbers to be worse. Zuckerberg has warned investors that he is prepared to spend billions of dollars over the next decade laying the groundwork for the exciting 2030s when the metaverse will take off. It's already
We're going to
taking
be
off.
here to see it. We'll see. Now, those of you that are following the news of Microsoft's buyout of Activision Blizzard and Activision's shareholders have approved the huge multi billion dollar purchase. It isn't a done deal yet. The gaming empire purchase must go through some more hoops, including dealing with the Communication Workers of America that are asking the United States Federal Trade Commission to scrutinize the deal to ensure that the lack of a union membership at Microsoft won't impact their unions. It gets complicated when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. We continue to monitor the news and we'll report it to you here and on our news and updates Discord.
Okay.
Now on to our
Oh,
next
sorry.
favorite subject, world building. Have you been paying attention to the in-world Altspace VR featured rule list? If you haven't, go there right now. Check it out. It's been updated and it now features worlds by some of our favorite world builders, including Nico, Marcia Kay, who I think is in the room. Yay. Also, Kurt. I think Kurt's usually in here somewhere. Right on, Kurt. And also Bruno, who is a graphic artist who doesn't speak English but does amazing conversions for stereoscopic images called synthetic stereo. It's converting 2D images into 3D. Very cool. Congratulations to all. And yeah, it's wonderful to have that feature finally updated again.
That,
Wow.
that is. Congratulations, you guys. So, CAD in Blender has arrived with the new feature. Available to the public. It's an amazing feature that allows you to do CAD style precise drawing and objects in Blender. We've shared the link to the announcement in our VR news channel of our news and updates Discord. So, world builders, check it out.
Now, the next update for Blender is coming May 2nd, this week. It has some potential updates in rendering, animation, and rigging. Now we're waiting for news, and we'll be reporting on it soon as we know it. The April 25th update brought improvements in tile, backing support, library support, improvements to the performance for mesh and geometry nodes. Have any of you played with geometry nodes yet? Really fascinating, really fun.
We're going to move on now to some Adobe news. And many of you have probably dabbled with Adobe's apps over the years. Anyway, we mentioned recently that Adobe was expanding into 3D modeling. This week, they opened the beta access for Substance 3D Modeler, a new modeling and sculpting application from the makers of Substance and Medium, bringing us the latest technology in 3D modeling. For those wishing to join the beta program, we've posted a link in our News and Updates Discord VR news channel.
Get there quick because it may be a limited number. For those that are taking world building beyond the boundaries of AltSpace VR or pushing the boundaries in general in AltSpace VR, Vive announced their new Mars Cam Track. It's a virtual production solution that provides accurate camera tracking for live video compositing with a simple setup and ideal for those that are entering into 3D video production. Now, if this is of interest to you, and I know that there's some of you out there that it is, Vive has launched an early bird access to the Mars Cam Track, and we've shared that link in our news and updates Discord. So check it out.
As a reminder, we've been reporting that Git was impacted by a serious security breach. Please update your Git and GitHub apps and local installations to ensure you have the latest update with the fixes and change your passwords.
Mhm. As a reminder, we've been reporting that oh, sorry, we've also shared an article from GitHub from their blog with tips for best practices to keep your project secure on GitHub. So please, we're not going to fill your head with all of this. Take time to review and implement these practices to ensure your world building projects are protected. It's still the best way for managing your projects. So do it right.
There you go. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Carnivore and Dargan have spent the last 2 months working on an innovative event for Slovenia using literally groundbreaking technology and techniques with Unity and MREs here in AltSpace. On May 11th, the Educators in VR World Building team will host a special tour of these amazing worlds to learn more about the techniques they use. So make sure to RSVP the event so you don't miss this one off experience.
Hmm. Now, we want to take a moment to remind all of you creative and talented world builders and event hosts to unleash that creativity and not copy the work of others. Be original.
We have so many incredibly creative and talented people here in Allspace VR, and there's just no reason to copy. Create your own. Parody or slightly emulate, sure, but let's see your imagination shine as you make your worlds and events your own.
Hmm. Now, the next Educators in VR MRE meetup with Dargon is in a couple weeks, but if you have been working on some fun, innovative tips, tricks, things with MREs, contact Dargon to showcase your efforts at the next meetup. If you're new to MREs and world building, come anyway and learn how to use the power of this simple programming to enhance your worlds.
This Wednesday, the Educators in VR World Building team is hosting a world tour of Star Wars worlds. Join us as we explore and learn more about the world building techniques of Star Wars and related worlds created by our community in AltSpace VR. All right, on to some Discord tips. Discord is our back channel communications tool used by AltSpace VR in events and groups all across the AltSpace VR community.
Discord was updated this past week with improvements in slash commands for bots. Discord server admins can now set permissions for who can control the bot slash commands and not control them, which commands they may use, and sync commands to channels and categories as well as individuals. This opens up the potential for controlling bots on a case by case basis. Really exciting.
Let's take a look at the slash commands in Discord for a moment. Even without a bot, there are many slash commands everyone can use in a Discord server. Simply type a forward slash in a new post for a basic list. If you want to see a whole list of keyboard shortcuts, hold down Control or Command and type forward slash.
If you wish to type a message as a spoiler alert, just add a forward slash, the word spoiler, and then type the message. Want to send a Giphy, an animated GIF? Type forward slash, the word Giphy, GIPHY, with the keywords of the search. It's so simple. I just love this. Discord bots come with a full range of slash commands as well, and this new ability to assign permissions on who may access them is a huge step forward.
We love Discord. Remember, if you have a Discord tip you'd like to share with us, please let us know or share it in our news and updates Discord.
Now it is time for Old Space VR events. Okay, I tried.
Yay!
Events in Old Space VR bring together people with common interests. Now, we don't have time to feature the more than 250 events every week here, but we do our best to bring you some of the highlights. I remember when that number was like 50. It's just scary. Um,
Wow.
we're going to bring you just a few, very few of the highlights of this upcoming week and beyond.
For our event hosts and their support team, we'd like to remind everyone filming their events to check OBS as there's a new update out, part of a series of recent updates to fix many bugs, including a fix for audio capture for older versions of Windows. The 27.2.4 update also mentioned that if you are using NVIDIA Broadcast, which many of us are due to the excellent filter system used to mask background noises for 2D users, please disable it before updating to the newest version of OBS.
Now, quick warning, there are more and more get rich quick events promising the wonders of the metaverse popping up here in Altspace VR. Go for the entertainment, but be aware that many of these are likely scams. Though some are people that are just really passionate about this and they wish to share their passion, that's okay. But realize there's no checks and balances or verification of any claims these people make. So consider yourself warned, as these could be snake oil sellers. You never know.
No, you don't. Tomorrow is story time with Stevie of Improv VR. As a voice actor, he will be reading stories chosen by the fans. We love storytelling and listening to audiobooks, and Stevie is bringing us the joy right here in Altspace VR. Love it.
hmm The Beltane Festival with Pagans in VR is here tomorrow in Altspace VR, honoring the May Day holiday that's celebrated by most religions around the world, but it's based on the old Celtic and even older traditions. Did you ever do the May Day poll thing, Karen?
I think I did when I was in grade school. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you,
It's
Lavelle, too?
wonderful. Oh, yes, it was a big deal around our community. It's a
Ah,
day of joy and celebration, welcoming the spring with a ritual of the maypole dance, wrapping long, colorful ribbons around a tree to honor rebirth, peace, and joy. So don't miss that event.
indeed. Mother's Day is celebrated usually on the second Sunday of May, and next weekend is the day for much of the world, though Mexico celebrates it on May 10th every year. Diamond Max is presenting a special event on Tuesday to discuss a unique aspect of motherhood, foster care, and adoption. We need to celebrate mothers of all types, and what a great way to honor the task rather than the blood connection.
hmm Love that. Simulation Nation is back on Tuesday to review The Truman Show again and talk about the Philip K. Dick novel Time Out of Joint that inspired the movie. Thursday, Simulation Nation hosts a discussion with visual FX wizard Cornelius, who has been experimenting with sound and collaborating with world builders right here in Altspace VR. I love Cornelius. They are exploring the sound and the metaverse. That's going to be fun.
Oh, that's going to be a blast. The LGBTQ plus and Friends meetup is Wednesday, and they're celebrating their fifth anniversary. There are two parties planned to accommodate time zones, and the party features DJ Illuminati to drive the music. Congrats to one of the longest running events and groups here in Altspace VR.
Yay! Good deal. Can't believe it's been that long. That's awesome.
I know.
Educators in VR cyberbullying teams open discussion and meetup is on Thursday. We'll be discussing event and moderation, harassment, trolling, and the impact on cyberbullying and how they all relate together. It's going to be a great discussion. Come join us.
The Educators in VR virtual hardware team is meeting Thursday for an open discussion on the latest, greatest hardware, including VR controllers, haptics, and accessories. There have been some exciting announcements lately, so don't miss this. And bring your opinions and findings on the VR headsets and accessories that you use.
Yay. Now, as a reminder, if you encounter an event that doesn't match the description or expectations, or you feel it violates the AltSpace VR community guidelines and terms of service, while the event is active, you may report it in world by going to the event and clicking on the info and then report.
You can also report positive feedback and rate events as well when they're live, helping the event host and AltSpace VR know when events are successful.
All right. This is just a few of the just too many events that are happening this week. I don't know how we even managed to keep up with all of it. There's no reason to leave all the space. There's so many. So the schedule changes often. So check the website and the in-world calendar to stay up to date.
And check out the channels to find the events to tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit.
You don't see something that interests you? Start your own event. Let us know about it by posting it in the news and updates Discord. Honestly, we love it when people get together and let their creativity fly and they bring together people with that common interest. It's really exciting and we love
It
sharing your events
is.
here.
We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever growing community, and we're so glad you're here to share it with us.
That time again.
Yay!
All Space VR is a complicated community. Okay, we all admit that. There's absolutely no doubt about that. There are communities within communities within communities, and each brings its unique energies and passions to the whole.
The AltSpace VR community standards states that AltSpace VR is an international community of users from many different cultural backgrounds. Each community member has their unique background, cultural practices, accents, and mannerisms, belief structure, and reasons for being in VR. As a community enriched by this multicultural environment, there will be no tolerance for bigotry about any user's race, nationality, spiritual beliefs, physical abilities, or sexual orientation.
This is such a powerful statement. AltSpace VR is a stronger community due to its embrace of everyone in the strong moderation guidelines that protect everyone in this community. We so appreciate this. We love meeting people from around the world and learning about the culture and the history within our community.
The question before us is, why is this important to you? Many of us stay here in AltSpace VR because of its welcoming atmosphere and the support of diversity and inclusion. How has this impacted your life and your experience? And what does it mean to you?
So the raise hand button is up right in that lower right hand corner. And so click away and tell us about why is diversity inclusion in alt space important to you? Why does that matter? And I think I'd like to make sure that Stands with Trees starts this by telling us about his diversity event that he had today. So make sure you get that raise hand button up. We want to
Okay.
hear from you.
All right. Raise your hand, Matthew. And in the meantime, Marcia, you're up. You
Okay.
have megaphone.
Hello, can you hear me? That's
Hey,
the first
Marcia.
thing you
Yeah.
have to ask.
Yeah.
All right,
No, it
cool.
isn't.
Diversity, diversity, diversity. I mean, when you say the word a lot of times, it becomes what's powerful for everybody. We all live in a diverse world. We don't always get along, but it is diverse. But we need to embrace everyone that is diverse, from handicap, all the values of life, all the all your thoughts. bring it in together because diversity makes a whole world,
Mm-hmm.
and a peaceful world. But I also want
Mm,
to add the Bruno Zafoni Gallery was built by Dave Heiser, who's standing right over there. You failed to mention that, but that's okay.
No,
But
well, no,
thank
I
you,
mentioned Bruno's. I mentioned Bruno.
not Dave Heiser.
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. I missed Dave. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So anyway, I believe in diversity. I believe in diversity in love and the world. Please stay in alt space. Don't leave alt space because this is the most diverse world I've ever seen in my life. And it's incredible.
Well said. Thank you, Marcia.
yes. Very nice,
Love it.
Marcia. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, next up we have the infamous Stands with Trees. You're on megaphone, Matthew.
uh, okay. Well, you know,
You want to tell them what
uh,
happened this morning?
well, you're to tell them what happened this morning. Okay. Well, first
No, you
off,
do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
for those of you who do not know, I am the team leader for Educators in VR diversity team, and we did an event today, where we had an open discussion, and we talked about. I posed the question: what does diversity in VR mean to you? And we had an amazing discussion on diversity in VR. Even talking about, I made the point. I made the point during the event that um, VR, not just alt space, but VR in particular, can be a very awesome tool when it comes to diversity and inclusion. It can open people's eyes to different perspectives. Some of the VR experiences that you can experience here, not just in Altspace, but in other places, Traveling World Black, the Anne Frank House, and the soon to be Indigenous residential school that I'm going to be doing. um, you can experience, for example, the indigenous residential school I'm planning on doing will take people in, and they can experience what it was like to be a residential school student, and what it was like to have your culture stripped away, and everything like that. So um yeah. Not sure what else to add there, Laurel, but um, yeah, VR can be really, really amazing when it comes to things like that.
Well, I think what you said was so beautiful is that in order to really understand and appreciate someone, doesn't matter who they are, we kind of need to understand that history, especially when we're dealing with diversity. We need to understand and appreciate that history in order to understand
Mm,
why the behavior
yeah,
is that way and why the reaction is that way and why their attitude is that way and so on.
yeah. I mean, in particularly, and one of the reasons um, why I'm doing this is, I see this all the time in my life where people have, basically stereotypical ideas what indigenous people are, and so basically they see the effects of everything that's happened to indigenous people, residential schools, losing land, whatever else, and they see all the effects of that, and then they don't understand the history and the reason behind it, right? So they don't understand. So VR can bring experiences like that. In VR can bring people to a better understanding, and in particular of indigenous people, why they are the way they are. Why do they act the way they do? Why do you know what, they just don't have them come away with a better understanding of something like that. That's what I want to see. Yeah,
Love it.
it would
Very
help
Love it.
help with the
Yeah,
diversity and inclusion.
it's
Absolutely.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
that
We're
is.
all love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks
And
for
do
sharing
know
that,
that
Matthew.
his event, the diversity team, needs more people. And if you want to be a part of that, if that is something that's important to you, go talk to him after this event.
Very nice, Matthew. Thank you for sharing. Come on, you guys, raise your hands. We haven't had a discussion in 2 weeks. Raise your hands, everybody. Your virtual hand, Dave, not your
There you go.
that hand, the other hand. Okay. All right. So let's see who is next. Dave, you are next. You are on megaphone. Let me delete it and give it back to you. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, now try it.
All right, that was my fault.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not a real good real good public speaker, but I'd like to say that I think in the trajectory of my life, I didn't realize how isolated I was in my own culture and my own world until I came into here. In the real life, it seems like cultures are they're coagulated and they don't interact very much. When they come up against each other, there's not a lot of interaction, not a lot of personal exposure to other people. And here, I meet so many different people. It's very homogenous. And I didn't realize how isolated I was before this. And now I make friends. I talk to people who have backgrounds that are very different from mine, and it just seems very natural. And I love it. It's great.
oh, that's so true, Dave. Thank you for sharing that. That is so true. We're so lucky to have alt space. Okay.
Absolutely.
Who else wants to share something? We still
Oh,
have
there
time. Raise your
just
hands.
appeared. Well, Karen, what about you?
Well, Lorel, I agree 1,000% with what Dave just said. I think that for me, I mean, your life experiences make you who you are, right? I had the good fortune of being able to move to Puerto Rico when I barely turned 16. I learned Spanish, and it made my career my whole life, right? So I've been exposed to the Latino community since I was 16, and I love it. But not everybody has those experiences, and unfortunately, a lot of people are isolated in their little towns where they live, and they're not exposed to other cultures and other races, right? And it's
Mhm.
really sad because the barriers are broken down when people come together, and this is what alt space provides. Alt space is bringing different races, different cultures, different ethnic groups. It's bringing them together in a shared experience, and it's allowing us to have that. And I think that VR can be a really positive thing. It can bring people together, and I think over time it can break these barriers down.
Everybody agree? Beautifully said, Karen. Beautifully said. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. That is gorgeous. Well, on that note, that's all for the news and updates. And I think that was a brilliant note to end on. Thank you, Karen. And thank
Thank you,
everyone.
Laurel.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank everyone. There was somebody asked us today at the diversity meetup, said, what have you done? How have you changed the world? It's fine to talk about it, but what have you really done to do anything? I think being a part of alt space is part of that answer. Being in alt space and working together to make that be a reality, that we respect each other and we collaborate, we work together, and we learn from each other, I think is part of the answer to that question. Because it made me think, what have I done lately? Well, guess what? I'm here. So thank you all for joining us every week for celebrating almost 4 years of the news and updates. We do this for you every Saturday to help you be a better informed community. We have some fun events coming up soon, so keep your eye on Discord and the news and updates channel here for all the updates that are available.
And when news you need to know happens, you know we share it in our news and updates Discord. And you get the news there through the clutter of information and here. So please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
We live stream the news onto YouTube and Twitch every week, and you can catch up with past episodes and more about AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members who help us gather the news as reporters, moderators, and help us put the show together every week. And next week, we've got a special show, too. I forgot about that. Make sure you
Yes.
tell your friends. Bring your friends.
We do this for you for free. We are not AltSpace VR employees. Our team works hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace VR.
If you'd like to join the team for news and updates, let us know after the show. We're looking for everybody. Can't you tell we need help? It's your show as much as ours, so we'd love you to be a part of it.
Thanks to all of our news and updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To all of our Russian and Ukrainian friends and community members, we are with you. Stand tough, stand up, and most of all, in these uncertain times, please, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay! Thank you, Karen. Thank you,